Right now, 1 in 3 Americans say that they have no religion, but that doesn't mean that they stop believing. In fact, it means the opposite. I spent a lot of time looking through a lot of data and stories and conversations when it comes to this shift that's happening. And what I found shows something really powerful. People aren't losing faith, they're just reshaping what faith looks like. Hey, it's Rose. Welcome to Conversations That Bloom. And today we're exploring something that I think a lot of us have been feeling, or we know someone who's been feeling this way, but it's really hard to put into words. It's this shift where people are leaving organized religion, but they're not leaving behind this search for meaning and connection. Maybe you felt it too, this desire to connect to something, but you don't know what that something is anymore. We're going to talk about that today. Not to give you the answers, but just to make space for pausing and reflecting and for you to maybe even see yourself in this bigger movement that's happening today. Before we go any further, let's just take a moment to unpack what we mean by spirituality. Because it's one of those words that's really nuanced and deep, and it means different things to different people. When I talk about spirituality, I'm talking about connection to yourself, connection to others, connection to the world, and then connection to something beyond, whatever that looks like for you. It's that quiet voice in your head that reminds you that you're part of something bigger, even when you can't see it yourself, right? You start questioning the meaning in the world and, oh, why did this one coincidence happen with my friend today? Or it shows up in ways of like, wow, I've seen the number 222 a lot recently, right? It's these different things that make you understand that there's something beyond just the surface level of who we are as humans and the different ways we connect to that understanding. For some, it's praying. For others, it's art. For some other people, it's going on a walk. And then some people just feel it when they look up at the stars or they're looking at their dog. They feel that connection. Everyone has their own way of touching something beyond the surface. And that's what spirituality is all about. With that said, to me, everyone is spiritual because being spiritual is about connecting to something deeper beyond the surface. Religion is a form of expressing your spirituality. It's a more structured way of going about living your life with spirituality in mind. So everyone is spiritual, but not everyone is religious because not everyone expresses their spirituality through religion. I hope that makes sense and we're on the same page because that's the mindset I am going to be moving forward with based off of this. But if you have questions or you want me to explain, just let me know. Leave a comment. So, if spirituality is about connection, what does that mean for how people are living and connecting today? Because, like I said, when we look around, it's clear something's shifting. Fewer people are sitting in the pews or going to Juma prayer, or going to the temple, but a lot more are journaling and meditating and meeting together in small groups to talk about the meaning of life. Spirituality is evolving. It's becoming more personal, more flexible. In some ways, it's even becoming more honest. We're seeing people say, I don't need to fit into a certain box in order to feel connection. And that's a really powerful thing to come to terms with. But then it also brings up other questions. Without the structure of religion, how do we stay grounded? How do we still find belonging when those community spaces like the church, the synagogue, the mosque, the temple aren't the places where we feel that community anymore? And that brings me to something that I think a lot of us are wrestling with today, and it's the in-between space. The place where you stepped away from religion, or you stepped away from your community, or you're just redefining what your specific faith tradition means to you, and you don't necessarily know what comes next after that. That in-between space can feel really freeing, right? There's no labels, there's no judgment, it's just curiosity. You're just moving through life, asking questions and finding answers to them in ways that feel right to you. But it can also be lonely when you're no longer part of a church, a mosque, synagogue, temple, whatever it is. You lose that built-in community that's already established for you. Fridays, people go to Jummah prayer. Sundays, people go to church. I think Wednesdays nights, people go to mass, right? Like, it's a built-in community. There's a time and place every week for you to connect with people. And sometimes that silence can feel heavier than expected, and we're unprepared for it. But here's the thing, that space of unknowing, that heaviness, it's also a place of becoming. It's where you really start discovering what connection, spirituality, really means to you instead of what you were told it means to you. So if you're in that space, you're not lost. You might feel a little lonely, it might be heavy, but in that space is where the transformation really begins. So how do we begin exploring spirituality in a way that is real to us? Not forced, not performative, but ours. And how does that help us with community? Here are a few ways that you can start noticing spirituality in your daily life. And if at any point you practice these alone or you take this inventory of your spirituality alone, when you're comfortable with that, invite a friend. Invite one or two people to join you in that, to join you in that spiritual evolution that you're going through. And then slowly but surely, you start to build your own community. It's not fast, it takes time, especially when you're trying to be authentic to what spirituality means to you. But one day it's all worth it because you have your own little built in community that is representative of the spirituality that you hold. So the first thing is to connect with nature. 70% of people feel some type of spiritual connection when they're with nature. They see their spirituality through nature. So go on a walk, even a short walk, 10, 15 minutes. That can really help you see something beyond the surface, how you're interconnected with the world around you. Second, engage creatively. Sing, dance, draw. What's another one? Make music, write, whatever it is. Spirituality is a really abstract concept. And because it's so abstract, there's a lot of different interpretations that show up in the world, right? Especially as we're in this transformation of like understanding what our spirituality means to us and how that takes shape. Art, being creative, whatever that looks like, again, whether you're drawing or singing or dancing, it helps you take these abstract concepts and turn them into something tangible and something malleable. You might have a painting and this is what spirituality looks like to you right now. But then you wake up a week later and you're like, I'm not connected to this anymore. Paint something new, write something new, draw something new, dance, create new choreography, whatever it is. Creativity really helps in pushing us to figure out what these abstract concepts mean in our day-to-day lives and the way that we're making sense of them. Second is exercise. I think exercise is a really underutilized form of engaging your spirituality or taking inventory of your spirituality. You can do it in an indirect way, like just go lifting weights, going on a run, doing some Pilates even, but I feel like Pilates is fairly direct with spirituality because you're like working on your breathing and stuff. Anyway, but you can do it in an indirect way, right? And you're just having that mind body connection, having a better connection to yourself and seeing what shows up. Or you can do it in a direct way. There's Tai Chi, there's, I'm going to mispronounce this, Brazilian Capoeira. Capoeira. I'll put it on the screen. Um, a lot of martial arts, honestly, have some spiritual component to it. There's yoga. Like there's different exercises or physical activity you can take part in that help strengthen your spirituality. Just try it out. You don't have to be like this top instructor. You don't have to be an Olympic athlete, right? That's a good example, actually. You don't have to be an Olympic athlete to benefit from things like running or lifting or stretching, right? Everyday people can do it too. You don't have to be this like amazing person at it to feel some type of connection, to feel you pushing yourself towards evolving into who you want to be and the meaning that you find and purpose that you find in your life. So try it out. Okay. I think this is 4. I don't have them numbered and I did not go in order. But fourth, it's reflect and journaling. It's really hard to spiritually connect and to spiritually evolve if you're not reflecting. Spirituality, again, is really abstract and it's something that can take shape in different ways and it can manifest in different ways. And sometimes you get triggered by different things as well. But you have to reflect and be able to understand, oh, today I went outside and I saw a butterfly and that made me feel really spiritually connected. Or today, when I was talking to Susie by the water cooler, she was telling me about her son, and that really sparked something in me. When you write these little moments down, it's a better way for you to take inventory of your spirituality because you have like this digital or physical log of different spiritual moments that you've felt. You can just do a massive brain dump at the end of every day or the beginning of every day, or you can find guided questions online. There's stuff on Pinterest, Instagram, TikTok, like there's so many people who have questions out there that you can follow to help you understand your spirituality. But you have to reflect and put in the effort to journal about it and write about it in order to better understand. Journaling is not for everyone, I understand that. But some form of like being able to physically take inventory is really important. I just speak into my phone. I use the diction. So I have in Notion, like I have this daily journal thing and I just start talking into it instead of writing it out. And that's my way of taking inventory. So try it out. And then the last way is to find community. Like I said at the beginning of this, it can be lonely, right? And when you're taking inventory, whether you're connecting with nature or creativity, exercise, whatever it is, invite one or two or three people. But at a certain point, try and create that one community for yourself. Talk to people, listen to their stories, express to them that you're on this search to understanding what spirituality means to you, how you're connecting with others, yourself, the world, that which is beyond. You'll be surprised. A lot of people are open to having these conversations as long as you present it as an opportunity for them to connect with you, for them to tell their story without judgment, without fear of being ridiculed. Ridiculed? Ridiculed? Ridiculed. Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, you'll realize you're not alone when you start asking these questions and having these conversations. More people are confused and questioning meaning and spirituality than you think, but you won't know until you ask or until you put yourself in a position where or a situation where these conversations are being had. So try it out. But that's the list that I have for you today. Remember, there's no right way of being spiritual. There's no right way of taking inventory. It's just whatever feels best for you based off of who you are and how you show up in the world. This isn't a checklist, right? Oh, I did something spiritual with nature, or I connected with nature, I connected with art, exercise, whatever, so on and so forth. Also, the list isn't exhaustive. There's many different ways. But it's not a checklist. It's a conversation that you're having yourself, that you're continuously having and continuously involving. That's the purpose. Spirituality isn't about having it all figured out. Spirituality is about just staying open. It's personal, it's messy, but it can also be beautiful. It's about connection, curiosity, growth. So as you move through your day, take a moment to just reflect on where your spirit is showing up, right? What's sparking it? Maybe it's your kindness, your creativity, your wonder. I'd love to hear more about it. So please leave a comment below about what that looks like for you. And if this conversation is sparking even just a little bit of curiosity in you, lean into that. Do some research, ask some questions, talk to your family, your friends, open scripture, whatever that looks like. Dive into that curiosity so you can better understand what spirituality means to you and you can better connect to those around you, yourself, the world, and that which is beyond. So until next time, keep asking, keep noticing, and let's keep this conversation blooming together.